So what we're going to do today is create a situation where your virtual drum MIDI recording is just everywhere. Now this is NI Studio Drummer, so it's supposed to sound like a real drum. But after you get a good take, your hits just sound like they're everywhere. Now in a real drum recording with microphones, the performance is set in stone, and you can only adjust the recording by applying compression and adjusting levels. Well, with a setup like this, on the other hand, which is one major advantage of using an instrument track with your drums, is that you can fix the actual performance, anytime you want. And that's what we're going to do today. So I just recorded this drum track right here. So let's take a listen. Cool. So it's not too bad, but the kick was definitely too low. I'm gonna bring that in, and maybe just bring up the snare hits a little bit more. And again, we're gonna do this by not touching faders or any levels. We're just gonna do this all with MIDI. So first thing you're gonna want to do is start highlighting all your kicks, because that's what we're gonna adjust first. So here we go. Now the only reason I do this a little slow is because if I do them all at once, sometimes the session crashes, so let's just avoid that. Okay, so now what my suggestion here is that you just flatten all these out, because it's a kick, so kicks aren't too dynamic, they kind of keep the same level. So let's do our flat and raise the level. And maybe around there. Let's take a listen. Maybe just a little bit more. Now we got a nice even kick. So now let's do the same thing with the snare. Now with the snare, you don't want to flatten it out completely, because that wouldn't sound natural. So let's go in and look at the snares. The snare hits. So they're not all flat, but that's good. We just want to decrease the range up between the hits. So first let's just get an overall level for the snare. So let's take a listen. Just a little bit louder. Alright, there. And we're just gonna bring some of these down. So let's just highlight them. So here's one. Let's grab that one out. Cool. And just a little more. Bring that up. A lot better. So now we have the kick and snare both present. We didn't touch any levels, no faders, and we did it purely with just MIDI velocity. And you could proceed to do this with your whole session. Remember, keep in mind the snare everything should sound natural. It's okay to flatten out the kick, but yeah, keep the snare a little more dynamic there. That's natural. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial, and see you guys next time.